Welcome back to Wolf Bride, Chapter 2. The Bonding. A Bastien stands before you, dressed in leather and body paint, his strange group of cultists still chanting softly behind him. What the... Bastien, did you have something to do with these bastards kidnapping me? Bastien ignores you, raising his hands like some sort of revival preacher.
We gather today to praise the life-giving earth. She has brought us Aspasia, returned to us a daughter of the pack. Blood of the pack!
What's going on here? The crowd's chanting shifts, sounding even less like a language and more like a wild, wordless howl. Yet somehow there is a bone-deep familiarity to it, like a music faintly remembered from childhood, from before childhood, from deep in your blood. And some of you knows these are your people, who both Bastien and Zane were so cagey about. These people, this music, this place, this is what your mother ran away from, and what you came back here to find.
Today we accept Aspasia as our own, acknowledge forever the bond between us.
Bastien, what's happening? What are you, a cult leader? The sense of familiarity makes you bold. You decide just to go with it and trust that no one here intends you harm. It just figures. You'll let the guy save you from one car crash and he thinks you want to be abducted into his sex cult. Is this why Mom didn't want me to come back here?
Shh! This is no time for jokes! Blood to blood, flesh to flesh, soul to soul, bound together to mate, to hunt, to feed, to bring the pack new life.
He reaches out and clasps your hand in his. It is electric. Wow, wow! The moment your skin touches his, the woods come alive around you. You can hear the rustle of the wind like a language, see the movement of every leaf and insect. You feel each pulse of blood through Bastien's fingertips like they're your own. For a moment, you even see your own shocked face looking at you. Bastien?
I am here. I will always be here.
A shocking wave of heat rushes through you, slicking your skin with sweat, attuning you to his every movement. How can the simple clasp of his hands be enough to make you forget where you even are?
Welcome, Aspasia.
Alright, calm down, 2014 Wattpad. You acquired the mystic bond with Bastien. What is going on here? Oh, developing supernatural abilities. What fun. For a moment, you are so overcome by the connection between you that you forget to be angry or even afraid or curious. You step forward and suddenly the bond fractures. You feel it in your bones, like you're stretched on a rack, torn apart from your other half. Bastien! Then you feel someone else, another woman, coming between you, the tight grip of your connection expanding to include her. You feel Bastien's deep revulsion at the violation of your bond.
Whew!
But now you feel this other woman too, the same tender, passionate union you shared with Bastien a moment ago. Whatever is happening, how can it be happening twice? Who's there? What's going on? You have a brief, momentary impression of Morgan before Bastien releases your hands and the vision vanishes.
Something's gone wrong. The ceremony has been violated. Stop the ritual.
Your legs tremble, vision clouding as you are released from the ritual's powerful hold. The last thing you see before you black out is Bastien's worried face. Ooh! Temporary setbacks. So dramatic. Sometime later, your eyes flutter open. Where are you? You can see soft furs, the flicker of firelight, and a large dog lying at the foot of your bed. You blink and realise there's no dog, just Bastien silently watching you. The bond stretches between you, a soft band just below your conscious awareness. Let him know I'm awake. Stay still and watch him. You blink quietly, your vision resolving to show you something like a cave, but with a bed and a fireplace and candles on the wall.
This is my fault, Aspasia. I was too eager. I should have let you come to us in your own time.
He reaches a gentle hand down to smooth your hair back, and you close your eyes again a moment too late.
You're awake.
He puts a supportive arm around your back, helping you sit up. You shiver at the touch of his skin on yours, heightened now by the bond between you.
You have my apologies, Aspasia. I cannot say that quickly or intently enough. This never should have happened this way.
Damn straight it shouldn't.
You have every right to be angry. I don't blame you if you choose to run, but I beg you to give me a chance to explain.
Explain what? You kidnapped me. Whatever happened to a first date? You try to keep your voice light, giving him the benefit of the doubt, but you know Bastien can hear the strain.
I didn't realize you would not expect the bonding tonight.
You thought I'd expect this?
If you had been raised here, if your mother had stayed, you would have known exactly what tonight would entail.
So you're really saying the whole town is part of this cult, or whatever this is?
When I met you, I felt the bond so strongly between us. I know you felt it too.
You look at him, wanting to protest, but even through your confusion and fear, you can still find the sense of comfort, of rightness.
I knew you didn't know our ways, but I didn't think about what that meant. I just knew that your blood called to mine. Your soul recognized mine. I knew, and I think part of you knew too, that we are destined to be together.
Whoa, slow down. Okay, slow your roll, mate. Really? That's supposed to excuse you sending goons after me? You felt it too? He responds to the invitation in your voice, laying a hand over yours. Your pulse leaps at his touch, crackling with electricity.
I will never stop feeling it. You could be 1,000 miles away, and I would know the direction by the pull of my heart.
He touches your cheek, and you know at that moment that no matter how weird this is, no matter how weird it gets, you're all in as long as you're with him. It really is there, isn't it? The bond.
You are mine, Aspasia, and I am yours, and nothing on earth can ever change that. I am deeply sorry for how Jet handled this. We all had assumed Zane prepared you for the ceremony.
Why am I not surprised Zane was in on this? Bastien pours a cup of water from a rough ceramic pitcher, and you drink thirstily.
Had you grown up here, you would have spent years preparing for this day. You would have known everything that was to happen. That morning, you would have immersed yourself in the springs to clean your spirit and open yourself to the earth. Your mother would have painted you with the sacred symbols and dressed you in all white. It would have been a joyful memory for you, not a fearful one.
I still don't understand. Are you talking about some kind of arranged marriage?
Not a marriage, just a recognition of the bond we already have, an acknowledgement that we are meant to be together.
He stands and walks over to the fireplace. You feel the distance stretching between you like a chasm.
I have a suggestion. We can still do the preparations now.
How? I mean, can we do that? It already happened, right?
I cannot make it what it should have been, But I can show you what would have happened if it was done correctly.
You mean without the blood-curdling terror and confusion?
Let me give you back a piece of your heritage. Show you what you would have learned if your mother hadn't taken you away.
No. Seems like that ship's already sailed. Whatever preparations I did or didn't make, you did your ritual, and the bond is already there, right? Not much point going through a lot of pomp and circumstance about it now.
As you like. I shall leave you to your night then.
He gives you a nod that feels more like a bow and sweeps from the room. To your surprise, while you can still feel the bond between you, it is less pressing with him out of sight, and soon you are able to sleep. When you wake up the next morning, it takes you a minute to remember where you are. A room, in a cave, somewhere in the woods outside Hunt's Peak. You stand up, running a hand through your hair, but as you reach the entrance, you notice something chilling on the floor, a single massive paw print. Was there a dog in here after all? You lay your hand against it. The paw is longer than your hand and twice as wide. What animal could have possibly made this? Not knowing where else to get answers, you stumble past into the main part of the cave. The fact that they actually designed an entire, the art here is dope. Your little room seems to be part of a vast network of caves arranged around this central living area. Reminds me of Fantastic Mr. Fox. Hey, does anyone know if there's a big dog in? Aspasia, you're up. We were so worried about you after last night. Layla? She swapped her tight skirt for belly-bearing ragged linens more in line with what the rest of them were wearing. What are you doing here? Were you in on all of this? Layla holds her hands up. Hey, I was just as surprised as you when Jet and Isabel came into the bar after you. Really? Well, maybe not as surprised, but I swear when you walked in, I had no idea that they would be coming that night. And I assumed Zane would have told you to expect the bonding. Then, are you part of this cult? What is this whole bonding thing about? I can't believe you didn't defend me. You can't tell me you're not feeling it yet, honey. To your annoyance, you can feel yourself blushing. I mean, maybe. Then, it's it. It's happily ever after. It's what everyone dreams about. Layla gives you an apologetic look. I really am sorry about last night. I mean, I could see you were nervous, but I assumed Zane had told you the basics. If I knew, I would have explained. Well, tried to explain. Assumption makes an ass out of you and me. This is what they failed to remember. I guess that wouldn't have been so easy. That's when you notice a man standing quietly behind her, coming closer now to sling a casual arm around her waist. You recognize him from the circle yesterday. I told you my man lived out of town? This is Callum. Welcome, Aspasia. I'm sorry. No one knew you weren't expecting the ceremony. If Bastien had been there, he'd have known what to say. Why wasn't he there? You're not supposed to come together to a bonding ceremony. It's bad luck. Like seeing the bride before the wedding. Layla looks you over, and you can't help feeling out of place in your machine-stitched, off-the-rack clothes. I can't believe no one even offered you the right clothes for the ceremony. I know Bastien had them put aside specifically for you. She disappears into a back room of the cave and emerges with a beautiful hand-dyed shirt and linen harem pants, all trimmed with the softest fur you've ever felt. Try them on. You're going to be spending a lot of time here with Bastien. This will help you look like one of us. Ooh. Okay, why not? Ooh, and it's only 20 gems. I mean, why not? She needs to actually look cute, so... Layla helps you carefully apply a few stripes of chalky body paint like so many of the others are wearing. Are you sure I need the paint? You want to see Bastien draw? This is definitely the way to go. And it'll help show the others that you really belong here. You can tell by the sudden catch in your throat that Bastien has walked in. He stops dead when he sees you, lips slightly parted as his eyes run over your new clothes, as intimate as a caress.
Aspasia, you look wonderful, just the way I pictured.
He takes your hands, and you can't help but feel his joy as he pulls you towards the light of the cave entrance.
Come, there are people waiting to meet you.
Okay, the artwork in this book is stunning. The sun is bright in the clearing area outside, and there are a surprising number of people lounging on the stone benches or standing in small groups.
So, Layla and Callum you've met? Jet too, though I apologise again for the circumstances.
You look where he's indicating and recognise the man who bullied you out of the bar last night. He does not look friendly. Oh, goody. Glad he's here. Next, Bastien points out the woman who helped Jed abduct you. Oh, wow, there's actual leaves falling.
And of course, Isabel. She's the toughest woman you'll ever meet. I hope you two will be able to be friends.
That might be a big ask. He nods respectfully to an old woman who must be 80 if she's a day. She's watching you both with sharp, discerning eyes.
And Nomi, our most revered elder.
I'll treat her with respect.
Take your time to get to know them. They're all quite eager to meet you.
I'm going to talk to Isabel. You walk over to Isabel, who looks past you to watch Bastien with a possessive smile. Well, that was a more exciting bonding ceremony than we were led to expect.
What do you mean?
Passing out instead of finishing the ritual? That was certainly a statement. A statement? What do you think I was saying? She gives you a slow once-over with her piercing dark eyes, taking in your new outfit appreciatively. At least you found something proper to wear. Her eyes flicker back to Bastien. What is up with you two? Bastien will be done with you soon enough. Someone like you could never hold someone like him. He's a bitch. I already have a bond with him. Don't want him. The minute I met him, I could feel it. Bastien says we're destined to be together. He may need you for now, but you'll never be enough for him. Why did you even bring me here if you wanted me gone so bad? I'd still be in town if it wasn't for you. I do as I am ordered. Ordered? I told him he'd regret it. I told him you could ever be what he needs. What's the deal? Is Bastien your ex or something? We don't use such terms. Guess I hit the mark. You mad because you want him back? You want him for yourself? Bastien may amuse himself with you for a time, but don't think you can ever really know him. Not like I do. She walks away, back into the caves, just as Bastien glances over, looking surprised to find her gone. Gingerly, you walk over to Jet, whose scowl never leaves his face. So you're Jet. You offer him your hand and he shakes it limply, though you see a smile threaten as he looks at your new clothes. It's good to see you looking right. Then he seems to catch himself and snatches his hand away. I told Bastien nothing good would come of taking an outsider's. Hey, you kidnapped me. I'd be just as happy to see the last of you. Bastien wants me here. From what I can tell, you all answered to Bastien, so if he wants me here, you can just back off. You were offered an honour you should be willing to sacrifice anything for, and instead you acted like you were being taken off to prison. Damn, these people need to calm down. What honour? With Bastien? Why is that such an honour? He should have known better. The minute he learned that you weren't raised in Hunt's Peak, he should have let you go. You'll never fit in here. With the last stormy look, Jet stalks away. Within moments, you can no longer make him out among the trees. You walk with Bastien over to the old lady and are surprised when he briefly drops to one knee before her. Welcome, my dear. She smiles, seeing your new clothes. I am pleased to see you embracing your role here.
Aspasia, this is Nomi, our esteemed elder and speaker.
Speaker.
I speak with the spirits and keep the ceremonies on behalf of our people.
So you do magic?
Many things feel like magic if you do not understand how they come to be.
Right. So shouldn't you have been running this ceremony thingy then?
It was not my bond made yesterday. You do not need anyone to come between you and the other half of your heart. She looks at you closely in a way that makes you feel like she's seeing straight through you. So tell me what happened.
Aspasia was not properly prepared. The power of our ritual took her by surprise, and she passed out.
Nomi gives Bastien a fond look, like a grandmother to an unruly grandson. Her voice is reassuring. I can see that the bond between you was completed, Bastien, but I'm curious what Aspasia felt. What happened to disrupt the ceremony?
I felt another woman there. Don't know what happened. Want to know what you think? It was like I was being stretched between them. Like it wasn't just Bastien it was connecting me to, but this woman.
Impossible!
Naomi puts a withered hand fondly on his cheek. You of all people should know nothing is impossible, Bastien.
Our bond is complete. That's the only thing that matters.
Of course. Naomi seems so nice. I like her. She seems lovely.
Whatever went wrong during the ceremony, it's done now, and it will not change anything.
Layla and Callum are waiting at the cave entrance as your stomach gives a loud rumble. Come inside. I'll find you something familiar to eat. By the time you come outside again for some time to yourself, the day is almost over and you're exhausted. So many new faces and names to learn, so many strange customs and hints and half-truths you can sense going on around you. Aspasia, thank goodness you're safe. The moment you lay eyes on Morgan hurrying through the trees, you feel that prickle of energy deep inside, that same magnetic connection as with Bastien. But why? How did you know I was here? As soon as I heard what happened at Buck's, I knew who took you. I've been combing the woods searching. That is hot. That is very hot. Morgan, let's get out of here. I don't need anything rescuing. Did you feel anything weird last night?
You can't see Morgan's eyes behind her dark glasses, but you hear a hiss of breath and imagine she's blinking rapidly. I'm not sure what you mean. Last night you stop realizing the enormity, the insanity of trying to describe the past 12 hours. I just was thinking about you last night. I almost thought I could feel you thinking about me too. Morgan's face tightens in a tense smile, and her voice is soft. I was. You can feel the bond between you like a physical presence, a band of connection that can stretch but never break. Come on, let's get you back to town. You hesitate, glancing back towards the cave complex where Bastien and the others are waiting. Morgan notices your hesitation and stops. They already got to you. They already convinced you to stay. I don't have any reason to distrust them. Really? You can't really argue with the incredulity on Morgan's face, but you still feel, somewhere at the core of you, that you belong here. I know I can't force you to leave, but you're in danger, and I don't want you to find out the hard way. She cocks her head towards the trees, as if listening for anyone approaching. This is their territory. Anything I say here means we have to assume they'll hear. Territory, like they own this land? Please, you don't know what danger you're in. Let's find somewhere safe, and I'll tell you what I know about Bastien and his people. Yes, let's do it. Woo, baby. Alright, let's find somewhere more private we can talk. Here, this is the way I came in. There weren't any sentries posted. She leads you through a narrow trail between the trees that isn't cleared enough to be called a path. Sentries? You really think they post? Shh, listen, I hear someone now. She jerks her chin towards the shadows where you can just make out Callum lounging against a tree and looking far too deliberately casual. Yep, sentries. But he's not holding a gun or anything else you would associate with the kind of paramilitary cult Morgan seems to be worried about. I'll need to sneak past. He'll never let you out of here. I think we should try to avoid him. Just tell him I'm leaving. What kind of predators? Bears, foxes, wolves. At the word, you are hit with the memory of your dream, the yellow eyes and dark fur chasing you through the woods. Tell me more about the work you do, what you've learned, how you got started. For a moment, Morgan doesn't speak. When she does, her voice is slightly strained, as if suddenly wary. We use cameras and radio collars to study what happens among local predators when humans aren't around. What does it show? That there's a whole world right under our noses that we never see. So, tell me more about you, not your work. What do you do for fun? You smile at Morgan, but she doesn't return it, seeming self-conscious as she digs a foot into the soft dirt of the stream bed. I've never been much good at fun. Oh, come on. What makes you happy? I am pretty happy you came with me today. She's breathing rapidly, and you can't tell if it's from the flirting or the exertion. By this time, the sun is setting, turning the stream into a sparkling red jewel. I should just keep walking. Take her hand. You take a breath and reach for Morgan's hand. As your fingers brush hers, your heart stutters, lurches, beats doubling for a moment as your minds touch. For an instant, you both feel her cool hand and your warm fingers on her. Then your senses normalize. Her hand tightens, startled, and you know she felt the same thing. There's something about you, Aspasia. I don't know what it is, but I feel like it's right for us to be together. The minute I met you yesterday, I felt something. As the sun sinks behind the trees, you feel the pull of the strange bond between you and hesitate, trying to figure out how to bring it up. Do you know anything about the ritual Bastien and his people do? Something they call the bonding? But as you follow Morgan's sure-footed path into the now dark forest, you suddenly hear a voice behind you.
What are you doing?
You turn to see Bastien flanked by Callum and Jet. They all look angry and somehow larger in the long shadows. Bastien. Aspasia is coming with me of her own free will, which is more than I can say for how you got her here.
Step away from her. You have no right to be here.
Hey, quit it. I make my own decisions. Morgan steps between you and Bastien, hand on the holster of her gun. Get behind me, Aspasia. But as you hesitate, not sure how to diffuse what has turned so suddenly into a dangerous situation, Bastien lets out a sound that can only be described as a howl. Horrifyingly, his face seems to stretch and twist with the sound, arms lengthening, back hunching, nails sprouting into claws. Behind him, Jet and Callum twist and hunch as they undergo the same transformation.
No, this isn't real. This can't be happening.
The Grinch. Arroo! She is mine. Okay, well, I mean, that just took a turn. But I'm just wondering, like, why didn't we get a female wolf? Why can't Morgan be the wolf? Apparently females can't be alphas. Okay, and we just get the boring humans. This is just another boring human book. At least he's not ugly. You know, he reminds me of Adrian. He really does remind me of Adrian. Anyway. Okay, well, since this is wolves, my catchphrase is now a little bit funnier, but stay frosty puppies. Tune in next time.